And we're back.
And we're back.
Welcome back to the pod. Yeah.
We've had some clips online, and we want to, make some editorial notes on some things we've said. Some corrections, some just follow-ups we didn't have time for. Let me just quickly start with saying, Max Broussard, not based on me. And I know this based on Zach Broussard, who is a delightful comic who did 1,000 Comics to Watch, a guy I've known for years. He's an LA comic, improv sketch guy. He's actually played Zach Morris in a sketch. That also hurt my feelings, that a Broussard comedian played Zach Morris and it wasn't me. And he, very funny guy. Cajun, definitely Cajun. So we did prove the character was based on a Cajun person.
You were right.
Didn't make the. What?
You were right on almost every single thing except the you part.
Except the wrong Broussard.
Yeah, but you literally had it had to be based on a comic. It has to be on someone who's Cajun. You have to you nailed everything except you went wrong comic.
Wrong comic. I also said that it was probably not made Jewish by her. I said maybe the last name wasn't her choice. I was wrong. It was her choice because she's friends with Zach. And the Jewish part was, she said, a production decision. I think they just mean Austin Abrams, the actor, wanted to play a Jewish for some reason because he is Jewish. There we go. So, point of clarification, I was wrong, and I'm an egomaniac who thinks everything is about him. Don't let Laura hear me say that. She was like,
and that I didn't even have to utter words. All you saw was me give a little harsh on yourself. Little harsh. Wouldn't have said it quite that way, but yes.
Now, we also had a rousing debate on crowd work that was received pretty well on socials.
I thought it was received great.
Great,
and that
I will say. Yeah.
I thought it was received great. I loved that it caused the conversation. I liked that we had the conversation. I liked that it was a respectful conversation. Mm-hmm. On the whole, I felt everybody was very respectful in our comments. There were a couple conversations that spiraled out of our video that got a little less respectful. But on the whole, really respectful, good conversation. And I only have one criticism, which is, I think the thing I see right now, and particularly when we talk about crowd work, is I see a lot of people who post online saying how much they love crowd work. I see a lot of people post online saying how much they hate crowd work. And what I wish I saw is more people posting online that they love crowd work and more people post online that they love written material. Mm-hmm. It doesn't help if the whole conversation is about crowd work because that doesn't help the written material comics. It doesn't help to criticize. It helps to support.
A negative times a negative is not a positive in this case.
Yes.
An attack on a thing you hate isn't an exalting of a thing you love.
If you hate Tony Hinchcliffe, the greatest gift you can give him is to post how much you hate Tony Hinchcliffe. If you hate Danny Jolles, the greatest gift you can give me is to post, I hate Danny Jolles. You will start a conversation. That's not it doesn't help in any way in the way the internet works to post something negative. It actually is probably the nicest thing you can do. There are comedians currently touring whose entire online presence is based on, you won't believe how much people hate watching me live. You wait until you see week after week me go on stage and people absolutely have a miserable time.
Yeah. Someone's gonna leave crying, and that's our guarantee.
Hey, that's our guarantee. When I'm on stage, someone's gonna get in a fight while I'm up there. Isn't that fun? But the problem is, it causes conversation. It causes debate. I need more people. If you hate crowd work, if you hate it, buy a ticket to somebody who writes great material.
Yep.
Post about how much you love their work. Post about how much you love someone else's work. Post anything you can in that direction. Criticizing comics you don't like
doesn't help out the ones you like.
Yes, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help, unfortunately. It actually helps them. So let's not do it anymore. And let's make it the positivity.
Yes. And this is a cultural issue that no side is immune from. I went and I guest lectured. I went and my friend's a math teacher, and I went and got to teach a couple classes. So she does Monday Punday, my puzzles for the class, and had for years. I ended up getting out of nowhere. I just got messages from 2 high school girls on Instagram. They're like, "Hi, we're high school students, and we're trying to solve this pun." I know.
And by the way, out of context, terrifying.
In context, I'm like, why are you messaging me? Go away. They go, we're taking this, we take a class, and our teacher loves to show your pun puzzles. Can you help us with one? And I go, who's your teacher? And they told me her name. I contacted her. She teaches calculus, and I'm a big calculus fan. I tutor a lot of calculus. And I messaged her, was just like, thanks for doing this. She goes, yeah, would you ever want to come, like, talk to a class? And I said, if I can do my puns and teach some math, absolutely. So this is my 4th year doing it. I went in, and fun day. At one point, I was teaching a small group of women about special relativity. Einstein's the kind of original equations that first put Einstein on the map. And I said, if you had developed these equations in 1904, you'd be Einstein. And one of the students says, oh, well, Einstein just stole that from his wife. This has been a thing online. There is a rumor that is very unfounded that Einstein stole his work from his wife. This is obviously an attempt by feminists to give credit where women were so often robbed of it. I've done a lot of material about how this happens in medicine. Things were discovered by men that women knew about for a long time and named after men, and there's been plenty of instances of that. Einstein is not one of those cases. Einstein is Einstein. It's hard to exaggerate the breadth and depth of his work. He's such a fucking genius. He's so smart. To tear him down by saying he stole it from his wife doesn't lift his wife up. We don't know much about his wife. His wife was very, very, very smart. But if you're going to try to give credit to women in STEM, look at Einstein's peers. Emmy Noether, Marie Curie, Lise Meitner, they're, geniuses. These 3 women were all geniuses, and they did it at a time where they were being held back. If you want to lift up women, lift up women. Tearing down men doesn't lift up women in this case. And I know generally that's some horrible misogyny that uses that exact same mantra, but like, you don't have to tear down Einstein. There's enough women who already did enough.
And also, look, here's the other thing is, I think there was a time where that did a lot, that had value.
Yes.
There was a time where tearing someone down had value. Mm-hmm. But in 2026, we have to readjust. Tearing someone down does nothing. Canceling someone does nothing. You've canceled nothing. No one's at. Dave Portnoy is putting out a book this week, I want to say, called like You Can't Cancel Me. And it's like truly the eye roll that I have when I read that title. I don't even dislike Dave Portnoy. I actually think he's really fun. I like Dave. You can't make me eye roll harder. Not just have we not tried to cancel Dave Portnoy. No one's even he couldn't be bigger. His company is the biggest. What are we talking? Stop trying to. It doesn't. In 2026, I promise you, it does not help to try to tear someone down. It'll just build them up more. We live in a weird inverse thing. You could argue the Trump effect. Mm-hmm. We all tried to tear down Trump so much it built him up. If you try to tear down someone, it builds them up. But there's like a positive way to look at this, because the way to look at it is go, if there's no value in tearing someone down, then the only value is to build someone up. So let's put it there.
And that's one of the reasons I like doing a podcast with you, Danny, because we've never discussed this as a rule, but it's been so clearly our thing on this podcast of just who do we like? Let's talk about that. If I hate someone, why am I wasting my time analyzing it and sharing their name? There's so much goodness. There's so many talented, wonderful people making great stuff. We could go on and on and on and never run out of names. Yes. Why would I waste my breath on someone who isn't that great?
It's not worth your time, and it helps them.
Yeah.
So let's not do it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of cancel culture, I did a set late last night at the Cellar. I was last on the show. I thought, you know what? I did pretty well from the closing spot on a drunk show. I actually closed it well. There's that pressure when you're closing. You want to make sure you really, really bring it home strong. Had a little dip in the middle, hit the ending, boom. That's not a bad end to a show.
That's
not
my
a
guy.
bad end to a show. I get off stage. Matt Richards, the host, goes on stage, and odd timing. Like, right? Just, I finished the show good. Don't, yeah. All right. Just, wow, what a show. Bring it home. Matt, I'm like, Matt, you're killing my momentum. Not that it matters. The show's done. Just bring it home. And as he's doing this, I run into Shane Gillis in the back of the room. Give him a quick, he gives me a quick hug. Feels good when Shane hugs you. He's a big, strong man. And he's like, how you doing, man? Not bad. And I hear Matt Richards go, you know what? You guys have been a good crowd. You've been a really good crowd. I think you deserve a little extra. Dave Chappelle. And then Chappelle brings up Shane. Yeah, that's a cool feeling. That's cool. I like to think I'm above it, but yeah. Can I?
No, it's always there's nothing. Dave Chappelle will always be. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter. He is one that when he walks in a room, my heart will flutter.
Yeah, it's still cool. As much as I grumble about him sometimes privately. Like, next time I see him, I'm going to say I didn't like his joke. Oh, hey, Dave. Oh, Dave's in the room. Oh, Dave's on the show? I have shit to talk about Dave, though. And I think this is a fresh criticism of Dave Chappelle.
Okay.
Yeah? Dave does something that I think is brilliant. He tells every comic they're going to make it, no matter how bad they are. Can we leave this in the pod?
I think it's totally fair to leave it. This is, believe me, this might be the nicest criticism Dave Chappelle's heard in years. Is the criticism is he's so nice to young comics, it has actually become a bit of a problem.
Yeah, he's put a lot of brain dead careers on life support.
Yes,
he's made a couple people stay an extra 2-3 years. I've just seen so many like comics who don't even do it anymore. They're like, I did a set late last night at the store, and Dave Chappelle popped in. I brought him up, and afterwards he found me in the hallway, and he was like, hey, man, you're really doing something special. Keep at it. I think you're going to make it. And I'm reading the post like, I know that's not true. So clearly, and he said it about me, to be fair. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I've never really spoken to Dave. I've never had like the speak. We've been around each other. Mm-hmm. My heart's melted every time.
Yep. Feels good.
Feels good. It's the coolest person.
Mm-hmm.
It's the coolest one of them all. But
he's just a star.
He's a star. He speaks. The way I've described Dave Chappelle is he speaks in premise lines.
Yeah.
What you and I would consider a premise that we would go, oh, what a great premise. I can maybe build 2 or 3 minutes off of that. It's every sentence he says. Feels like such a big idea. You're like, God, but he doesn't spend any time on it because he says the next premise line. You're like, and that's also, he just pops.
There's arguments over who's the best comedian alive. I think Dave Chappelle is the best speaker alive. I think his oratory skills are outside of comedy. Like, thank God he only does comedy because he could easily create a regime. He speaks so well. He's so compelling. And that's the interesting part about watching his comedy. In the moments where he's not funny, you're just as locked in.
There was one special he decided to do where I think he actively chose not to tell jokes, seemingly. And it was still, I watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
And it was one he just was like, I'm just going to be serious on this one, which is, if any other comics said that to me, they were like, I want to do a serious comedy special, I'd be like, bold. But he's Dave Chappelle. He is different.
But I think it's so funny that he just has a solid insurance policy of just telling everyone they're great. Why wouldn't you?
I mean, I try not to. Here's what I'll say. I'll say this: I almost any comic. No one's ever going to get off stage, and I'm going to minus. There's so much sloppiness these days. Every now and then, there's somebody who I'm like, I won't say much to because I'm like so sloppy on stage. such sloppiness, such proud, such
Yeah,
proud
sure. There's
sloppiness.
yeah. There's they're walking past you off stage. You can't even say good job, which I can always say. I can like 99% of the time I can say good job and not
Yeah.
have a truth of that in my soul. But sometimes you're just so mad you just go.
Yep.
That's all
Sometimes
you
I
give
can. That's my angriest most of the time, and I also know like again, not that I'm anybody. Particularly right now, I'm feeling very down on myself. But I will say that like I'll always know. Oh, there's people who probably like me, younger comics. So any younger comic, I'll always give a hey, that was really great. I really enjoyed that.
because
Something like that.
it means
But
so much.
yeah. But that said, every now and then there's a comic, a an Alec Flynn, who I saw in Denver, who I pulled aside and was just like, hey, you're doing something different. You're doing something different. I really see. I remember, and not that
Mandel for me.
I was literally about to say Mandel.
I saw Mandel 7 months into comedy. I couldn't follow him. I was 7 years into comedy.
Mandel showed up in L.A. He's doing my show Peacock on Thursdays, right? He comes in, hey, I'm Mandel. I'm like, oh, hey, Mandel, nice to meet you. He's like, yeah, I just moved here. I was like, oh, cool, Mandel. Like, so nice to meet you. Anything I can do to help? Like, let me know. He's like, I appreciate it. Standard, nice. Mandel goes up, does his set. I bring up the next comic, and I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hey, man, thanks. I go, walk outside me. Walk outside me right now. And we walk outside, and he's like, yeah, man, I really, who are you? What was that? That was amazing. What are you doing?
Wait, what's going on? Where'd you come from?
Who are you? What can I do to help? What was that?
Yeah.
He's incredible.
He's incredible. And to the listeners, you're like, what's Mandel's last name?
Wish I
That's
knew.
a dumb question. Stupid question. Stupid question. Moving on.
Moving on. You'll find out when you find out. But look up Mandel. So funny. Did it? I think he did it. Don't tell already. I mean, don't tell.
Yeah.
Don't tell
He's
is
doing
the
well.
best.
I think he's touring a little bit.
Yeah. Don't tell knows how to snag a Mandel really fast. That's what they have become great at. That is their superpower.
Yeah, they find him young.
They found him young.
They find him real young.
They found him young.
Still developing.
Yeah, it's a double entendre.
We were talking about crowd work, and again, I spent the whole day with high schoolers, and man, it's weird what is true and what isn't true about the younger generation. But I spoke to one student who had this. Again, like we saw what the crowd work people are like, crowd work's bad. I'm like, we're not saying it's bad. We're just saying it can be used as a crutch. It can be overused. There's certainly good crowd work. I'm not going to generalize. There's puppet comics who are brilliant. Like I'm not going to flat out criticize any medium within comedy.
I'd argue it's the coolest thing. I'll say it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. Coolest thing about stand-up comedy, Carrot Top and I do the same job, and we both can do it well.
Yep.
That's cool. I like that.
That's cool. Yep. What I heard was a very, almost like a religiously impassioned protest of AI today. Can't use AI. It's an insult. And this is another one of those things where I've been like, obviously a lot of the people who just flat out support it are idiots. But the criticism is equally dumb because it's so flat out. This is how I feel. It's very dumb to use AI to think. Let me restart. Edit that out. But there's a difference between using AI to think and using AI to learn. The former is a plague. Yes, there are people, young people, you can even see with high schoolers and college kids now, they have lost cognitive function because they know they can write and solve all of their problems with AI, with ChatGPT. But there's a small contingent of people who think whenever I run into problems I can't understand in, let's say, physics or math, I'm going to ask the AI like it's office hours and get an explanation that I would otherwise not be able to receive except from a professor or an expert in the field.
Yes. Which
and
is
the
awesome.
People who use it for that are going to advance at a rate we haven't seen.
Yes. I also think there's people who, look, I think that there's people who use it to perform. This is the thing I'm trying to learn, like bullshit functions.
Yes, secretarial work.
Secretarial
Administrative.
work and that's really where people get ahead. But the problem is AI is good at being bad, I would almost say. It's very good at doing a bad job, but well enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's good at being the worst employee at your store. But it's still an employee. You might not even fire this employee. But it's not as good as everyone else. I've been talking about this on stage. I've been doing a joke about this. But I called this this restaurant because I don't like, I say feta cheese, but I'm going to change it to blue cheese.
The worst
I don't
cheese.
What?
The worst cheese.
The worst cheese. And
Yeah,
so
Laura
I
and I
said,
both hate it.
and
It'll
so I've
ruin-
said,
a
ruin
small
everything.
amount of it can ruin the best dish.
and so what I said, very good. So this is what I've been saying. I've been saying, everybody who is into salads, I'm now going to do a joke for the pod that I'm working on. One of the first times. Everybody who likes salads has one thing they can't stand in their salad. If you're a salad person, you have one item that you're like, I want no part of this in my salad. Some people it's onions. Some people it's tomatoes. Some people it's beets. Mine is blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese in a salad. And I called because it'll ruin the whole salad. It takes out the whole salad. So I called this restaurant. I said, I want the Southwest salad with steak, no blue cheese. And this woman, Emily, goes, sounds great. We'll have that ready in 20 minutes. And I go, can you say it back to me? She goes, Southwest salad with steak. And I go, Emily, simply must remind you, no blue cheese. And she goes, that's right, no blue cheese. And I go, great. She goes, will you pay here or pay there? I'll go pay by card. She goes, great. And I go, Emily, say it to me one more time. And she goes, Southwest salad with steak. And I go, Emily, I'm begging of you. No blue cheese. And she goes, that's right. So sorry about that. And I've never hung up on a phone and been more positive there would be blue cheese in a salad than after that conversation with Emily. I go in, they hand it to me in a bag, stapled shut. I pop the staples right off in front of them. I go, I have to, because I know, pick it up, blue cheese right on top. And I go, I'd like to speak to Emily. And they go, and this is two employees, they both in unison go, fucking Emily. And I go, what is happening? I go, this is the worst employee. I go, yeah, I'd love to meet this woman. I have to meet this woman that causes chaos. And they go, you can't meet Emily. She's AI. And I was like, oh. And now the joke I'm trying to make is AI is the blue cheese of our society. It destroys whatever you put it in. It destroys the entire salad. It takes the whole thing out. That's what AI has become to me.
Wow, that's crazy. And you couldn't recognize the voice as AI?
I wasn't locked in. Because the thing, I say in the joke, I tried to speed up the joke as much as I can, because I say in the joke, I'm like, because what was annoying me about Emily is if it's you or I, and we fucked that up once, better yet twice, we would go, I don't know what's happening to me today. I am so dumb. I try to disguise it as much as I can for the audience of what's happening. If we hadn't been talking about AI here, you would not. I try to make it seem like Emily's just very dumb. Mm-hmm. But I was suspicious, but I couldn't tell. It's hard. They can sound very lifelike, but I just
My doctor's office uses it, and it's very obvious.
But you're not. But if you're not locked in, right? You're not locked in. You're just trying to get a salad. You're not locked in. It can catch you, and you go, oh, I guess I'm like, it's fine. It's the pause. It's the whatever. There's something about it.
That.
What?
I didn't quite catch that. Kyle Dunnigan has a great bit. Have you heard his bit of like, I didn't quite catch that, and how he hates the little. I didn't quite catch that. Like, why did you put the?
Yeah,
that's too human. It's freaking me out.
It's simultaneously so human and also the worst, and I hate it. And I fucking hate it.
But on the flip side, I know I sound whatever performative nerddom here, but like I've been trying to learn certain things that I never got to learn in college, in physics and in math, and I can just open up ChatGPT and ask questions. I'm not asking it to solve problems for me. I'm like, Get me to the level of comprehension. Get me to an intuitive moment where this all collapses into a structure I can recognize instead of just a bunch of seemingly disparate rules.
It's. I mean, look. This morning I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
I went because the Trump situation. Now, spoiler alert: when we're filming this, we're recording this versus when it comes out. We are heading towards the Knicks game tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance Mamdani Trump in the same building again. And I was like, "How is Mamdani doing?" I went to Claude. I just said, "Hey, Claude, pure stats. How's he doing?"
Those are the questions you shouldn't be asking, honestly, Danny, and they're the questions I ask constantly.
I felt like that was one that I was like, I just need numbers. I know how I think he's doing, and I know how my New York friends have talked about it, so I know how my New York friends feel about it.
You could also what I think we should do, and I don't also do a good job of this, is ask it for a list of hard, like concrete accomplishments, and ask for the opposite. Ask
That's
for
what I did.
That's what you did. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think that's a good use.
I said, give me statistics that are good, and give me the statistics that are concerning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it gave me.
How's he doing? Now we don't have to.
Listen, I referred to him in a joke going into this as the kid in school who wants to put Coke in the water fountains.
Yeah.
That is how I referred to him. So that's where I started with Mamdani. I thought that was a very fair, accurate representation because in theory, I like that. So that's not me being critical. I want Coke in the water fountain. I've just never seen it done.
Yeah. Well,
what I said, what the stats tell me, and what my friends in New York have said to me, have all said early. He's doing a pretty good job.
He's doing a pretty good job.
He's doing a pretty good. I've had my friends who even like are pretty conservative are like, I know, I don't think this is. He's gonna get me, but so far, pretty good job.
I mean, bike stuff. That's the only thing I really see. But he's fixed a lot of little bike things.
A lot of bike things, a lot of potholes.
Yeah.
The daycare situation. He's added a lot of daycare, like a lot more daycare options in low income neighborhoods. I've just heard. I mean, crime stats are way down in New York City. That's
Really?
not necessarily indicative of what you think, but it is good.
Yeah.
Murder rates. You're never going to have a murder that isn't reported. So the murder rate is actually a very serious thing. I think it's the lowest rate.
Unless you kill them in the abandoned houses and then use a nail gun to close the door. Then you can hide the murders.
Shout out to The Wire.
Shout out to The Wire. Shout out to Snoop and her nail gun. You sold that shit like a motherfucker.
One of the greatest characters the history of TV. But yes, Mamdani off to a good start so far. I will remain open. Wait, I want to talk about something TV based.
Can I talk about something Mamdani really quick? And then
Yes.
there was a criticism of Mamdani because he fixed the budget in New York City. And then people said, oh, well, it turns out he just took the money from New York State. Fucking socialism. And then it turns out that he took the money from New York State that was disproportionately given by New York City. Because New York City provides funding for the rest of the state because we are a port of entry for such a large amount of cash. So the funny part is that what Mamdani did was take the money from New York that was allocated to the state and give it back to the people where it actually comes from. Mamdani did the opposite of socialism. What it was before was socialism. He went the other way.
This is what I'm saying. I'm like, I just wanted the pure stats, and I've talked to a couple of my conservative friends in New York, and they've all been like, so far, it's off to a good start. We'll see when the grocery store shows up what happens.
That's whatever.
But so far,
we had a driver in like Texas. He was like, "Oh, I heard Mamdani's going to open up free grocery stores. This is going to ruin the economy. It's going to tank all the grocery stores." I'm like, "You think 5 grocery stores is going to ruin Wegmans?" Here's the thing. I'm walking to the closest bodega. If there's a bodega 500 feet away and there's a bodega 700 feet away, I'm going to the closer one.
Listen, we'll see. We'll see.
You're right. I should not let bias pollute my expectations.
I've heard many people say there can be Coke in the water fountain. I've never seen a class president put Coke in the water fountain. But in theory, if someone put Coke in the water fountain, it would be a better school. So if you're like me and you're like, man, I just don't know if it's possible what he's saying, that's not me being negative. That's me going, but boy, would it be cool if it did work.
Yeah.
We've always believed it is impossible. We've always believed universal health care is impossible in this country. But what if it was?
Well,
what if
it is elsewhere? So that's
So what if we did? So that's what I mean. So what if he did? So what? So I'm rooting for Mamdani.
What's your TV thing?
You know, Matthew, there's an issue in Hollywood where actors are liars. I don't know if you've noticed their profession, but they're good liars.
Very good liars.
So
I don't trust them.
That's why you don't trust them. That's why Hollywood isn't trusted, and that is why sometimes an actor says something in an interview, and it sounds great, but I think at this point we are all conditioned to go, probably bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Carrie Preston did an interview with SAG. And in it, she talks about they ask her, like, what's it like being the one on the call sheet? Which means, for those of you that don't know, one on the call sheet is the leader of the call sheet. On Elsbeth, Carrie is the one. She is the one. She is number one. She is the most. She is what they deem the one on the call sheet is the person on set who is the most important. Carrie Preston is the one. And when you are the one, you kind of have the ability to set the tone on set. And they go, what's it like being the one? And she was like, I've spent so much of my career not being the one. I take it so seriously that everybody who comes to that set feels good and welcome. And I just want to make it a happy, wonderful place. Which sounds great, doesn't it? But it's actors. So I saw this and I went, wow, people probably go, sure. I did an episode of Elsbeth last year. But not even last year. Say 4 months ago? 4 months ago, I was on an episode of Elsbeth. I spent 4 days with Carrie Preston. My character was exclusively with her. I never did for 4 days straight. I watched her. So I want to say, from an outside perspective, I have no horse in this race. Carrie Preston is the greatest one on a call sheet I've ever seen in my life. She is not just is what she said true. It's so true, Matthew. We discussed it on set. Because by day 3, I said to her, hey, you're the best one I've ever seen. And she goes, oh, yeah, I take it super seriously. The exact speech she gave to SAG, we had on set. Because I was like, I've never seen somebody greet every single person who walks on that set. So excited to have you here. I mean, everything that you want a leader to be, Carrie Preston was. And I was like, man, I just want to say, because these interviews come off as bullshitty and whatever, she is not bullshitting. That is real. Oh, yeah. What a just an amazing person and leader, and what an example of what a one can be on a show. Thank you.
Wonderful. and so in line with what we're saying, let's not waste time tearing down people we dislike. When it's news like that just doesn't carry very far. People don't want to hear the good stuff, so it's very refreshing to hear. I had a pleasant experience with Rachel Brosnahan. Talk about a one. Mm-hmm. On Maisel. She was way too gracious. It was also during like pandemic, so we had to wear masks, and she was wearing this like air filtered thing.
Oh, was she wearing with the thing on top?
No, it was like an umbrella. It was a see through umbrella she had to hold like overhead so it didn't screw up her makeup or face. It was this like air filtering thing, and
I remember we had to wear Remember the welding masks? You'd wear a mask and you'd wear like almost like it looked like you were a welder.
Yes,
it was so.
Yes.
It's on set looked so insane. It was just a bunch of welders walking around.
Yeah, just like Jarvis screens. Yeah,
yeah.
But she was great because she asked me about stand up, which I was like, I shouldn't be answering any questions right now about anything. You're Rachel Brosnahan.
It's so nice. It makes
Yeah.
such a difference too. You really feel it because the second you go on that set and Rachel Brosnahan goes, "Hi, how are you? Oh my God, you're a stand-up. What's that like?" Immediately, your nerves just go down. Like with Carrie, like just so quickly, I was like, "Oh, I'm in a safe place. I can be an actor now. I don't have to think about like, I've been on sets where it's like, this feeling of almost like there's a tiger in the room because I can feel everyone's afraid of the one." So you're like, okay, I don't want to piss off the tiger. So I'm just going to kind of and I'm just going to do my job and keep, and it's like, versus when it's like, oh my God, this person's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, the trick is find the most important person on set, especially when you're like an extra or like a guest role. Walk up, be like, so what was your break? What was your big break? What was your like? What was like? When is it like? When it like? How'd it happen for you?
If you, yeah, what you want to do is you want to approach the most important person on set, and go, hey, you got time, right? I got questions.
Yeah. Here's my resume. Here's my headshot. Danny, where are you gonna be?
Ooh, Columbus next weekend. Then we got Vegas. Then we got St. Louis. Then we have San Francisco. And then we have more. Also next week, Sasquatch doing a show at Dynasty Typewriter, The Return of Sasquatch. You can watch it in person. You can also live stream it. We are selling live stream tickets. I think the live stream is going to be so cool as well. We're building it to be a live stream show. So buy a ticket to that. That's like a really cool thing I'm really excited about. How about you, Matthew?
New Orleans, Mississippi, Vermont, Tyler, Texas, Montana, Charleston, South Carolina. I mean, a lot. Providence, Rhode Island, I just added. Chattanooga, just added. We definitely have Nashville coming up. San Francisco, probably Minneapolis, definitely Seattle. Join the guest list. Even if you don't see the dates, join the guest list so you'll be the first to get the links. So, and some shows are selling out lately. Not all of them, but like get the tickets, get the link.
Hey, you know what? You know what happens when you buy a ticket early? We get to relax, and the venue gets off of us. Like, buying a ticket early. And listen, you buy a ticket day of, I'm still so happy you're there.
I'm still so happy you're there.
So happy you're there. You've done nothing wrong. But if you buy it early, I'm so happy.
I'm so happy. I've got no leverage over you. I can't tell you what I'll do good if you do it or what I'll do bad if you don't, but it's nice.
I won't even know, but I beg you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye.